Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you some tricks to download the images for EVE-NG. In the last video you saw that we just install and configure the EVE-NG and also upload some image in that and license that images and also fix the permission to turn on the images and use this emulator for Cisco devices. In this video I'm going to show you how to download images. Actually we have two platforms for EVE-NG. The first one is the EVE-NG. Actually EVE-NG is the main one and EVE-NG dash ng dot .net, and this is the main platform actually, and some other developers actually use this EVE-NG as a base and edit it something like we have here the PNetLab. PNetLab is also something like exactly like EVE-NG, but I use that also. It has some other features that maybe makes your lab more beautiful to look, and also as you see we can draw some curves for configure for showing the connection between the routers, and also it also supports some images that you can have images in the in the screen actually, but it has also some problems. I use that for some kind of chemo images like Cisco Firepower and also Fortinet. It has some problems most time actually. It's not able to turn it on, but you cannot access the GUI interface of that. I don't know what is the problem in that. I tried to troubleshoot, but I didn't find a problem. Because of that I just migrate back to EVE-NG, but still PNetLab is something that is very useful actually, because it has a server contain all the images that you need. I can show you here. The installation of PNetLab is exactly like EVE-NG, is not much different, but after installation, let me show you. I have a PNetLab here also installed in a virtual machine, this one, and the IP address is 10.120. No, PNetLab is 10.129. Let's access the interface of that and see. 192.168.10.129. it is same admin, and the password is the password that you select before. You can see the lab that I configured before in the EVE-NG. It has actually some features like this. You can make some curves and makes the interface more interactive and beautiful. But the main feature of that, as I said, is not much different between this one and EVE-NG, but it has some good features. Let me close this lab and show you. For example, if you go to the system and system settings, in the system settings that you can see, it has different options here. For example, for fixing the permission in the EVE-NG, you need to just type that code in the SSH interface and fix the permission, but here we already have a button, and click on that, and the permission will fix automatically. And also we can reboot. Sometimes some images actually stop working. You cannot stop that, and you need to restart your lab completely to stop that image. And but in this one you can just reboot that image hardly. And also the good feature of that I can show you here. Let me SSH to it and PADI It's 192.168.10.129. Username and the password. What's the problem? Okay, the username is not admin, the username is root. Let me make a new session, 192.168.10.129, and the username is root. The password is Cisco. I just select the Cisco here, and here you can see that I have some comments here. For example, I share to the command I share to search. After search, we have some option like for example, let me show you. I search and enter. It will show you the options that you can select here. For example, you can search for bins, you know, the bin, the Cisco IOL images. Chemo is the images like Windows, Cisco Firepower, and some other images for SD-WAN, and also images non-Cisco images like ZT, like Huawei, and so on. And the good one is we can search here for all. When you search in all, you can see a lot of images here. Actually, let me make it full screen. You can see that actually this is they are all images that available inside that, and you can download them. You can use that on the EVE-NG, or you can use that on the PNetLab, or you can just download it and upload that to the EVE-NG. In this case, it's easy actually to find the images. You can see we have, for example, for Windows, you can see we have Windows client, Windows 11, and Windows 7, different version of that, Windows 8, different version. Even I saw Windows XP here. I believe it was here. Windows yes, Windows XP Lite, Windows XP on Lab. Actually, they are different version and modified version of the Windows. Some of them are light, and you can just it has only the option that is required, not everything. And also you have different version of Windows Server here, 2008, 2012, 2019, and so on. And also if you see different version of images like bin images, Cisco IOL. And also if you check here, we can see the WebTala images, vManage, vEdge, vBond, and also many other images like Cisco IZ server. And let me show you Cisco here, different version of ASA 8 and ASA V is also here, and CSR, Cisco CSR, different versions for SD-WAN and non-SD-WAN. And also you can see even as ESXi, and you can see the Cisco Firepower, FMC, FTD, and also NG firewall, NG IPS, and everything. Actually, you can find the Cisco IZ server, Cisco call manager, different versions here, and the non-Cisco switches like Fortinet, it should be here, Fortinet, yes, Fortinet different version is here, and also ZTE, Huawei, and all other images that you can easily download here. And after download, you can upload that to EVE-NG and use that. For example, let me search here for IAC. You can see it will show all the version of IAC server here. They are here. ICE, for example 2.7.3. Let me download. For downloading that, we just need to change the command iShare. Before it was search, now it's pull, and then chemo, then the number of the chemo that you are going to download. For example, I'm going to download ICE, this one. It is 522, just 522, and dash overwrite. For example, once you try to download that and it gives you error, and a small image of that will be available in the virtual machine, and next time when you try, it will tell you that this is already available and it will not download that. But with dash overwrite, you make sure that the new version of that will start to download. This the size of that, oh, it's 11 GB. I don't want to download something like that. It's very big and it takes a long time. Let's do something else. Let's download for example Windows, something like Windows. Search Win. You can see that it will show all the chemo images that start with Win and I actually contain Win. For example, I'm going to download Windows. Let's download Windows XP on lab, and the number of that is iShare2. The command is pull, then the chemo, and pull, then chemo, iShare2 pull, chemo, and then the number of chemo that you are going to download, and then dash overwrite. Overwrite. Oh, sorry. And you can see that start the downloading the image, and the image is 1.08 gigabyte. It will depend to your internet connection, and for me taking I don't know, estimate time in 64 seconds. It's going to download that image, and after downloading that, I can show you where is that. As I said before, you can access the virtual machine, actually the files inside the virtual machine with WinSCP. Let's bring that WinSCP and connect it to this IP address. The new version. Okay, let's SFTP, and the IP was 192.168.10.129, and now it will ask you for username and password. Username root, and the password for me is Cisco. After connecting that, you can see the images. As I said, it's in the OPT, PNetLab, and in the add-on we have IOL here, and also we have chemo here. You can see this is all the images that I downloaded before, and my download is finished here. It's 100%, and the name is WinXP on lab. Let's find it here. This one is just downloaded. You can see the HDA QCOW is here. You can download it from the virtual machine. I can download that, for example, let me download that on a new folder, for example on the desktop. Create a new folder and name it image, and just drag and drop here to this. Okay, now it's going to download that from the virtual machine, and now I can go to the EVE-NG and add it on the EVE-NG and use it. But make sure that every time you you add the image to the EVE-NG, you need to fix the permission. Okay, the download is complete. Now I have it here. Let's make a new session and connect it to EVE-NG 192.168.10.128. This is the EVE-NG root and password, and you can see I am in the 128. Let's go to the directory. It's opt PNetLab, adds-on, and chemo. In this you can see we have only this one. Let's add the Windows XP on lab here. It will upload that inside its virtual machine, actually inside the EVE. And now we can go to the EVE-NG. Let me close this lab. No, let it be. I just add a node, and let's select Windows here. And inside the Windows, it will give you the option to select which Windows you want to have. For example, I'm going to have Windows XP. Let's see, it's finished. Yes, and I just Windows and Windows XP on lab. Okay, save it. Okay, now I have a PC that it contains Windows XP. Let's start that and check if it's a start. It's okay. If not, we need to fix the permission. Okay, it seems that it started. It doesn't need to fix the permission. And if you check here, you can see the VNC, the port number of that. Let's bring the VNC viewer. The IP address is 192.168.10.1.28, and the port number is 32791. Now we just connect to the Windows XP here, and we can use it. Oh, it's a wonderful. It's the after a long time that I can see the desktop of Windows XP. Okay, just cancel it, and the mouse is not working correctly here. Actually, it's two mouses, but you can see that we have the Windows XP inside our virtual machine. The good thing is that Windows XP is it's a very light operating system, and we just need maybe in our lab to do some ping and or access some web page inside the machine, and it will be very easy to use. You can see the Windows XP here. Let's turn it off. And stop. And one thing more that let me tell you that the exporting the configuration, actually it's not working on the Windows machine. Let me stop that and try it. Export the configuration. You can see that not supported, but you can. It is. It will be supported on EVE-NG, on PNetLab. If I access the PNetLab and let me, for example, open one lab here, I just want to check it. Add a node, and for example Windows, and this is Windows XP. Save it and start it. Here we can just export the configuration, and Linux support is not supported. I think it should be a stop and export the configuration. I don't know, but let's try another image like Windows 7. Save it, and let me wipe it first, and then try to export the configuration. It's not supported before exporting. Yes, the Windows is just start exporting. Exporting the configuration is very important here. For example, if you change something in this one, for example, set the IP address and also install some software on that, and if you turn it off, and it has an option here, destroy the lab. If you destroy the lab, it means that everything will go to the first configuration. For example, first configuration means that when I add this here without any configuration. In this case, all your software that you install will be deleted, and all the configuration will be deleted. But when you just export that configuration, and that configuration will save in this Windows. For Windows client is not a big problem, but for Windows servers, if you install some services on Windows Server and don't export that, configuration will be lost, and the next time you turn on your app, you need to install that again. But we have this option also in the EVE-NG. Actually, EVE-NG has an option to doing that. I can show you here in the documentation. In the documentation, it will show you how you can export actually that configuration. You can see here how to create images, and if you go to the Microsoft Windows, MS Windows Workstation, for example, Windows Server, and in the Windows Server you see it will show you how you can install the Windows Server, but at the end it will tell you this is committing the installation as a default image. It will tell you how you can commit this installation. It's working perfectly, there is no problem. You can just commit the configuration that you did on that image and save it. Next time when you add that image in any lab, that configuration is already committed, and you can use that. Make sure that I recommend that you install the image and put that image somewhere. Then when you want to use that image on your lab, every time you want to use that image, just create another image, copy that image, colon that image, and then use it. Because if you change the configuration of that and commit that configuration will be in that image permanently, and the next time you will not be able to have a clear Windows installation. Okay, this is everything that I wanted to tell you about the EVE-NG and also about the PNetLab. The PNetLab, the good option of PNetLab is the images actually is available in the server, and you can download that very easily, and it's very easy, because if you try to find these images in the internet, it's available, but it takes your time to find and to download and upload that in your EVE-NG. But here everything is available. The good thing is that all the version is available here. Let me show you something here. For example, if you use Cisco Firepower, for example, for FMC, I want to use, for example, FMC. If I select the FMC here, Firepower Management Center, and for FTD that is going to be add to this image in the FMC should be the same version of FMC, and you can see that FTD we have FMC 6.2.0-362, and we should have exactly the same FTD here, this one. Make sure when you download this set, actually you have to download the same version of everything. There is not much difference between version 5 and version 6 because we are just practicing, and it's not much different between these two, but the good thing is that they are available here. And also NG Firewall, you can see that it's a different version according to the FTD is available here. And also if you check the ASA also different version of that is available, and you can add them to the FMC. Okay, thank you for your watching, and please let me know if any problem that you face here in the comment. and please don't forget to follow my channel, and I will try to give you some tricks to my experience actually for you to make your own lab very easily at home. Thank you for your watching, and see you in the next video.